Capricorn. Today we're going to look at August 9th, 2025, and that's the full moon in Aquarius. We'll look at Capricorn, sun, moon, and rising with specific messages for each. We'll look at numerology, astrology, and the tarot cards, and we'll end the reading with advice for your sign. And in the description box below, I have links for meditations for each of these tarot cards that I drew for you today. And if you feel seen today, please subscribe and stay tuned for your next reading. Tell me what messages hit home today and let's talk about it in the comments. I read all the comments and I'll reply to each and every one. So, the number for that day is 8 in numerology. It's 8. And the number 8 is all about empowerment, endurance, and mastery through discipline. So for Capricorn, this number feels right at home. It pushes you to reflect on what you've been building and whether your effort is aligned with what you truly want, not just what you're expected to achieve. So you may feel compelled to reassess a project or relationship where you've been pouring in effort without getting the emotional return you need. This is your cue to course correct toward true fulfillment. So let's look at astrology. And so this full moon activates your second house of money, self-worth, values, and security. And it casts a revealing light on what you truly value, not just financially, but emotionally and energetically. So we'll start with the sun. And so the sun is in Leo, and that's your 8th house. And that's going to talk about shared resources and transformation. So the sun encourages you to examine where your power is entangled with others, emotionally, financially, and psychologically. So you might question whether a shared arrangement, so that could be a business or a relationship or emotional tie, is still fair, or if it's costing you more than it gives. Here's the moon, and the moon is in Aquarius, and that's your second house, and that's going to talk about self-worth and value systems. So this moon helps you reassess your self-esteem and how it connects to your material world. Are you honoring your values or just playing it safe? You may realize you've been undervaluing your time, staying in a job or situation that doesn't nourish you, and now feel ready to change that. Here's Mercury. Mercury is in Virgo, your 9th house, and that's going to talk about perspective and wisdom and truth-telling. So Mercury brings a hunger for truth. You're mentally seeking higher meaning, and you're ready to communicate it clearly. So you might write or teach or speak on something close to your heart, or finally vocalize a belief you've kept private. Here's Venus. Venus is in Leo, and that's your 8th house. And that's going to talk about intimate bonds and emotional intensity. So Venus stirs up desires for deep, real, meaningful connection. Surface level won't do. So you could have a powerful conversation with a partner or even realize you need more intimacy and depth than you've been receiving. Here's Mars, and Mars is in Gemini, and that's your 6th house. It's going to talk about routines and work ethic and daily focus. So Mars gives your daily grind an energy boost, but also adds pressure. Be mindful of burnout or picking battles at work. So you might feel impatient with slow-moving tasks or realize it's time to overhaul your habits and workflow. Right, so let's go right into the tarot cards, because this is the 10 of Cups, and the 10 of Cups is emotional fulfillment, and it's family, and it's ideal joy. So this card shows what's possible when emotional, spiritual, and relational needs are in harmony. It represents the dream, like deep happiness and soul-level satisfaction and love that lasts. So you might be visualizing your ideal life, perhaps a home full of love, a fulfilling relationship, or simply inner peace. Whether or not it's here yet, this card says it's within reach. You just need to align with what genuinely lights you up. So here's your advice. Tune into your heart's version of success. Make room for emotional wealth, not just material achievement. Here is the Five of Cups. And the Five of Cups talks about grief and disappointment and dwelling on the past. So this card brings a bittersweet emotional tone. It acknowledges loss or regret, but reminds you not all is lost. Behind the spilled cups are still two cups that remain full. So you may feel regret over a relationship that didn't work out or a missed opportunity. But this card is asking, are you missing the blessings still standing because you are too focused on what's gone, right? So gone, not gone. So here's your advice. Mourn, but don't stay there. Shift your gaze to what remains. Your next chapter is waiting. Eyes forward. So here's the last card, and that is another five, and it's a Five of Swords. The Five of Swords talks about conflict and mental tension and hollow victories. So this card indicates a conflict, either with others or within yourself, where the win may come at too high a cost. It's a moment to ask, is this battle worth it? So you may find yourself in an argument or a power struggle where the real damage isn't external, it's emotional. Or you might be caught in a loop of self-criticism that drains your energy. So here's your advice. Choose peace over pride. Step back from mental wars. Sometimes walking away is the victory. Okay, so how does this day affect Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising? So Capricorn, Sun, you're weighing your emotional fulfillment against practical structures. You may realize that success means nothing if it doesn't bring joy, and begin redirecting your goals towards something that feels real and heartfelt. So for example, you might reevaluate a business path or relationship dynamic and realize it no longer aligns with the happiness you're aiming for. Capricorn, Moon. Emotionally, you're processing old disappointments. You're aware of what didn't work, but also starting to see what can. You're healing from comparison, regret, or resentment and moving toward hope. So you could revisit an emotional wound only to realize it no longer has power over you. Closure comes from within. Capricorn rising. Externally, you're projecting strength, but inside, you're recalibrating. You may seem steady, but you're seriously reconsidering where and with whom you invest your energy. So you might quietly step back from a toxic environment or shift your focus from productivity to peace. And people will sense the clarity radiating from you. So here's the summary from what this day means to Capricorn. So this full moon is a moment of emotional reckoning. The tarot shows a mix of fulfillment, sorrow, and internal conflict, but also an invitation to rise above it with wisdom and peace. So the Ten of Cups shows what you truly want. You want joy and connection and emotional depth. The Five of Cups acknowledges your grief, but reminds you that healing and love still exist. And the Five of Swords asks you to drop unnecessary battles and choose what truly is worth your energy. So here's the real life takeaway. You're allowed to grieve what didn't go as planned, but don't forget the beauty still around you. Emotional wealth is real wealth. Honor it and walk away from emotional battles that leave you empty. Choose restoration. So here's the advice for Capricorn on this day. Let your definition of success include joy. Mourn the missteps if you must, but then lift your gaze. There's still so much to love, to build, and to become. You are not what you've lost. You are what you're creating. Thank you, Capricorn. And I hope to see you in another reading. So you may realize you've been undervaluing me. Come on. Okay. Surface? Shiffish? Oh. What are you chewing? Okay. And heartfelt. Okay. Gonna do that again.